I have an appreciation and respect for the British culture.
Boom.
Because I feel like, actually, as much as people like to compare London to Toronto with the black community, right, the similarities, I actually feel like Londoners are more similar to New Yorkers in a lot of ways. I feel like there's more of a connection. When I went to London, the grittiness of the city and certain parts felt like New York City to me. Obviously, how big the metropolitan area is, the subway, the history of the subway, all of that, and just how direct people are from the UK are, at least from London.
And you lived in New York too.
Just the racism.
Just so people know, like you lived in New York for a period of time.
So when I was there, I was like, yeah, this directness is familiar to me because not only did I live in New York, I used to work for a British ad sales company in New York City. So I got to experience Brits in New York too. And I saw the similarities between how Americans and Brits are both direct, but they're direct differently. They have a different approach to being direct.
Give me that, because I feel that too.
Yeah.
But how do you see it? Because I know how I see it, but I want to.
Yeah, so for me, how I see it, and this is definitely just a Western perspective, is, you know, almost anything a Brit says sounds very intelligent. Just based on how we perceive their accent. So they could be like coming at you, but it sounds good, but they're telling you what they want you to do, right?
Are you trying to talk in the accent right now? Were you just trying to do that? Did it sound like he did an accent there a little bit?
No. Okay. No, I mean,
come on, bro.
Isn't it?
Talking with the British accent.
Yeah.
So it's a whole lot of that Top Boy.
So speaking of that, I got onto the Brit culture because of Top Boy. Yeah. Like before Drake, you know, got a part of it, like the earlier stuff. And I was like, it's really like that out there. I did not know at all. Like there was streets like that. So it was fascinating for me.
Like how I see the difference.
Yeah.
And so we lived there for a few years, right? Yeah. When you say directness, I see
That's
it like
he's got that hat on.
I got a Kangol one too, still. I just picked it up. But the way their directness, I feel, is way more extreme than New York's. I'm racist to your face. And in a weird way, I respect the guy being racist to me because it's to my face. There's no behind my back.
We've spoken about that before too. It's like, just do it now. I'd rather you be honest about it.
Like the middle finger and whatever slur is like right there. And it's a regular day. Like, whatever. And then you return the favor. Like, you know what I mean?
Dan Corgan, real bad man.
Here, and when I say here, I think it's safe to say North America. I think it's hidden. You know what I mean? Like I might be saying whatever I'm saying or thinking whatever I'm thinking, but I'm not going to say it to your face because maybe more PC culture or whatever it is. But there it's like there's an understanding like, hey, like we could coexist, but this is what I think of you.
Yeah, like, fuck off, mate. Like, you know, But you know what? I'll take it what you're saying one step further. I think it's in North America, it's a North versus South thing. I think the more south you go, in the States specifically, the more direct you'll get about how people feel about you. Yeah. That's just been my experience, where the more north, there's the PC culture, people, they might feel a certain way about you, but they're mindful about how they go about expressing that.
I'll go even further than that. And I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think there's a difference also because in the States, the slavery was right there.
Correct.
Go get me that, boy. Like whatever it is. Yeah. Even though England colonized everybody, I don't think like black people are people's butlers or slaves out in England. You know what I mean? So there was a different sort of relationship. Yeah. So in the States, I think the turmoil is like the energy is a lot higher, where it's just like you have this history of these people being your masters or whatever the case, or your ancestors or whatnot, and it's just there. And then even the way they look at you, it's like, man, a couple hundred years ago, you weren't doing this. Like, you couldn't even talk like that. So there, it was more colonized, and they're going to different countries and speaking like that, but not so much in England.
Right.
And then also, I feel like the war changed a lot. World War II, because now it's like, we're depending on our colonies. We're depending on these people to fight for us. And then, so speak for myself. So India was obviously a colony as well.
Yeah.
It in a way, it was, I don't want to say nice, but they gave everybody that was in the army a visa to come out to England. Here's your chance or opportunity. So the big wave of all the Punjabis or the Indians that ended up going to England was because of their service in World War II. So and then the way they got treated after that, it's like, I'm sick, right? So Sikhism is like, they're educated on it. Right. Not only did they colonize, but they got to know the culture. They got to know the people before they ripped them and stole everything, like everywhere else.
You hit those ether gunshots, yo.
Yeah, sure. But you get what I'm saying? So when you say they're intelligent or it sounds like they're more intelligent just because of their accent, I think they really are. Their general conversations are more than TV and media. Right. Like they're actually having real conversations about real things, and it's such an old country,
right?
Where you're more accessible to education, and it's just more privilege of just really, I don't even want to say privilege. It's just more people around you that are having those conversations, opposed to, hey, what are the Kardashians doing today? Right. You know what I mean?
Bro. And there's a whole lot of that going on.
Yeah. And then they're not that close to Hollywood. And then I would even say their music's different. Like their fashion sense is different. Like they're more influenced by Europe as a whole.
Right.
I remember how they used to say like Europe's fashion's like 10, 15 years ahead before it comes here. I don't think it's like that anymore, but it might be. But like it's just levels. It's levels.
No, it was definitely an eye-opening experience, man. I was only in London for like a hot second, like 2.5 days.
Yeah.
So I only got to experience that like a handful of things, but I was like, I could come back to that city and spend a good week, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, no problem. London's a vibe, for sure.